Let's do this. Let's do this. Hello, people. Another beautiful day. Yep. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good. What? What's up, gamers? What's up, Twig Town? You guys are a fool for this article. Listen to this. Sony can't tell us why the 10-year Call of Duty deal is bad for PlayStation. Listen to this. Let me read it again. Sony can't tell us why the 10-year Call of Duty deal is bad for PlayStation. Tweaktown, you guys are a fool for this article. Anyway, says here, popular, Sony say the 10-year Call of Duty deal is bad for the company, but he can't tell us exactly why because the agreement terms are redacted and confidential. Says here, Sony has repeatedly said that Microsoft's 10-year Call of Duty deal is not good for PlayStation. Really, PlayStation? Anyway, let me keep going here. Let me keep going here. Says here, but it can tell us why, because Microsoft has redacted the terms of the confidential business agreement. Says here, Microsoft 10-year Call of Duty licensing deal is bad for business, or at least that's what Sony is saying. The PlayStation firm, who generate over $24 billion from games in 2022, has said the merger would irreparably harm the industry. Sony has said no to Microsoft Call of Duty deal, but it can't tell us exactly how the deal is bad for Sony or why they won't accept it. Why? Because the terms of the agreements are protected from the public. In a new statement, Sony says that Microsoft legal counsel redacted specific parts of the agreements. This isn't some nefarious deed on Microsoft's part, though it's pretty standard that a sensitive agreement would remain private. Both Microsoft and Sony have a lot to lose if specific numbers got out. Then it says here in all black, says here, redacted version of the observation filed by SIE and Microsoft on the CMA remedies notice were made public this week. Information regarding the terms of an offer made by Microsoft to provide future Call of Duty release on PlayStation was redacted, at least of Microsoft, a Sony representative told GameIndustry.biz. We believe their current offer will irreparably harm competition and innovation in the industry. Then it says here, to be clear, we shouldn't expect to get information like this from public regulatory documents. Sony, Microsoft, and regulators are typically quiet, thorough when it comes to blocking out sensitive business information that could potentially lead to reputational or direct harm. Also, remember that discovery documents from the FTC merger investigation are covered by a standard protective order that was issued by Administrative Law Judge D. Michael Chappelle. And that is the end of the article. Okay, Sony, we gave you 3 years. We gave you a 3-year deal. You couldn't explain it. It's bad for business, huh? We gave you a 10-year deal, and you still can't explain it, and you're saying it's bad for business. So tell us, why can't you explain it? What's wrong? Anyway, look, man, I told you guys they were going to fight for this, but they can't tell why a 10-year deal is bad for PlayStation. Well, if they can't tell, well, they should have never ran to the UK regulators in the first place. You know, they should have never ran to the regulators. You know, and the FTC. If Sony can't tell why the 10-year deal is bad for PlayStation, then you need to drop the case, because Microsoft is being fair here. You know, 10 years of Call of Duty. That's a lot of days, a lot of seconds, a lot of minutes, a lot of hours, a lot of weeks, and a lot of months. So, you know, that's pretty good. 10 years. But you're rejecting the deal. You're saying that you're trying to block the deal, but you cannot tell why the 10-year deal is bad. Oh man, that Sony president. Tell me something. Why did they make you president? If you can't tell us why the 10-year deal is bad, then you should have never been president of Sony. Then you should have never ran to the regulators. You know, Microsoft beat you to this. They beat you. It was on a first come first served basis. Activision is out in the open, and they're wounded internally. All kind of problems happening. Nintendo got a shot at it. Sony, you got a shot at it. Tencent got a shot at it. Nvidia got a shot at it. Google has a shot at it. Amazon have a shot at it. Come on now, Activision Blizzard is up for grabs. You got Sony, you got the Call of Duty contract. So you should have like stopped what you were doing and say, you know what? Let us go see what's going on over here. Let's find out how can we help them? How can we help them? Like Phil Spencer said, it's not what they can do for us. It's how can we help you? And you didn't even step in. All you cared about was Call of Duty. Okay. Microsoft said, Phil Spencer like, okay. Oh, so nobody's interested in Activision Blizzard? Well, of course there was Facebook, but Facebook had their hands tied with Meta. Anyway, Phil Spencer runs back to the heads at Microsoft and say, look, we need to jump on this. What y'all think? Heads at Microsoft looking at each other like, okay, what y'all think? Should we get involved? Should we help them? Should we care? Is it any of our business? You know? Does Activision Blizzard matter to us? What benefit is Activision Blizzard to us? I mean, should we really help them? Are they a part of the tech industry? Are they? Should we really help them? What y'all think? Okay, go and take 68.9 billion with you, and just like an eagle with his claws out. Got him. The deal is done. Like they say on Call of Duty Black Ops 4, first come, first serve. Microsoft beat everybody. Nintendo, Sony, Tencent, Take-Two, Amazon, Nvidia, and of course Google to the punch. So Sony, you can't explain. You can't explain why a 10-year deal is bad for PlayStation. Oh boy. Then my question to the president of Sony is like, okay, why are you doing all this crying and complaining if you can't explain why the 10-year deal is bad for PlayStation? What are you crying about? They gave you 3 years. You didn't want it. That means you couldn't tell why the 3-year deal was bad. Okay, we're gonna raise the bar a little bit. We gave you 10, and you still can't tell why the deal is bad. Too bad. Well, UK regulators, you guys need to drop this case. FTC, Federal Trade Commission, you need to drop this case. Microsoft beat everybody to the punch with this, and this was a race for, and this was all about cloud gaming too, and this was about, streaming for video games. You know, if Sony can't explain if they can't explain why the 10-year deal is bad for PlayStation, they have no case. The case is done. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Or Dark Side.